Terrifier 3 is going to be in the news over the next few weeks. So get ready. Terrifier 3 upends the MPAA rating system. If you would put that story up, Alan, let's take a look. Terrifier 3 not clowning around. How the uber gruesome pick upended the movie rating system. Now, let me just say this. I had a film that was rated by the MPAA. You pay a fee, they look at your movie, they list what the problems they have, and if you need to cut anything back, luckily we kind of knew what rules we could dance up to. It was my film, my big fat independent movie. We did have problems. The poster was not approved by the MPAA because we had characters pointing guns at the camera, right? We had to change that. We were told we couldn't use that poster, but otherwise it was fine. And the MPAA, by the way, acts as a gatekeeper for movies to go in theaters, on streaming services, all of that. It's meant to inform parents about ratings. So I'm familiar with how this works. I do feel they favor studio movies. Studio movies can get away with so much more than indie movies. But why don't you read a little bit of this story, Alan? Okay. But by the way, Terrifier 3 unrated and on about half the screens as Joker 2, Full Adieu.
All right. In a history-making move, the uber gruesome indie slasher pick Terrifier 3 took out a Hollywood institution in one fell swoop, the movie rating system. Filmmaker Damien Leone's threequel stunned the town when opening to 18.9 million over the October weekend, despite being unrated. Before the pandemic, few movie theaters would book a title that didn't have a rating because of strict limits on television advertising, among other things. But times have changed. Terrifier 3 was able to secure a berth of 2,513 cinemas. Now it is well on its way to becoming the top-grossing unrated movie of all time against the minuscule budget of $2 million and barely any marketing spend on the part of Chris McGurk's Cineverse Corporation, which released the movie. Between COVID and the historic 2023 labor strikes, the box office calendar is still in an agitated state of flux, and most exhibitors weren't going to play what they knew was for sure bet, particularly after Joker crashed and burned a week prior. Terrifier 3 was the movie fanboys wanted Joker to be, says one top studio marketer of the film. Both centers on a villainous clown. And the next paragraph just mentions that the other unrated film was Renaissance, a film by Beyonce.
Well, I first of all, I think it's an achievement for this movie to get in theaters, bypass the MPAA, and do become number one at the box office. Amazing achievement. I want to see more indie movies go for it like this. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that this article points out is that Hollywood is imploding. The systems and the support structures of Hollywood is collapsing, and the MPAA is one of those. And a lot of it has to do with the reason you mentioned, the reasons why the MPAA exists and what they're useful for. But a lot of those things no longer apply. Because television advertising is not something that marketers really go to much anymore. They still use it, but it's now one of many weapons and many tools in the tool belt there. Word of mouth, the fact that they didn't have to do a lot of advertising for this. I don't think I saw any commercials whatsoever about Terrifier 3. But Damien Leone, to his credit, had built its reputation. And that reputation is what spurned, what drove the marketing of this movie. And like I said, Hollywood is not the dream anymore. It doesn't need to be the dream anymore. Go out and make your movie, publicize it, market it the way you want. If your movie's good, people will see it.
Well, I want to see more indies. And I gotta say, I'll confess, I never saw a trailer for Terrifier 3 in the theater. I did see it online. I did see it, the trailer online, and that got a lot of play. But really, I think all this movie is, it's kind of a pushback against modern like studio horror, right? This is grassroots. So it's one of those, if you know, you know. It's also like memes. I mean, you look up, Art the Clown, artwork, memes, merch, bootleg merch is everywhere. He represents a pushback against the mainstream. So I think it's great. And I can't wait for Terrifier 4 Full Ado the Musical. That's not going to happen. That's not.
Yeah, I hope it happens.